Now, it seems like Mwai Kibaki is risen from the dead to come and teach President William Ruto how to run a government. It seems like Mwai Kibaki has decided to rise from the dead to literally come and teach President William Ruto how to deal with these young people who post AI-generated images on social media, criticizing the president. There's a video I want you to watch before we proceed. Here is it.
I think the best thing, if you have an argument with your children, is to call them to a round table and discuss the issue with them. Otherwise, if you think you become clever and start abducting them one by one and locking them into their rooms, you will have no peace. You will have no peace. Those children are going to make a lot of noise from the room and cry and will not sleep over the night. So, I think the best thing is to call them and have a round table and discuss the matter. But now it becomes complicated. If you had started by chasing their mark, I don't know how it will work.
Now, I'm not so sure whom this gentleman is. Maybe you let me know in the comment section if you get to find out. But I get to understand that this is exactly how Kibaki would speak, assuming that Mwai Kibaki would be alive as we speak. This is precisely what he would tell President William Ruto on how to deal with Gen Zs and the other young people who are posting these AI-generated images on social media. I think this is precisely how Kibaki would deal with this situation instead of abducting and detaining these people incommunicado and keeping them away from their families in this festive season. I think Mwai Kibaki would deal with this situation differently. You know, Kibaki was very passionate about children. Unlike William Ruto is abducting and keeping all these guys, Kibaki was very, very passionate about children. I think we all remember that it is President Mwai Kibaki who introduced free primary education that saw a lot of young people join schools and pursue their education up to tertiary level. Remember, Kibaki, after introducing free primary education, he went ahead to commercialize universities. And what this did was to ensure that universities and other tertiary institutions could generate their own revenue. We saw programs like parallel programs being instituted that saw a lot of students. There are those students who could actually pay their own fees. So both students who could pay their own fees and those ones who could not afford, both of them had the opportunity to pursue further studies. Unlike William Ruto's first 3 years, during Kibaki's tenure, we saw a lot of growth in learning institutions. Okay, we have now just said that universities could raise their own income. This should mean that there was higher number of intake of students. In fact, other small tertiary institutions grew up to become big institutions that we now see today. And this was as a result of higher intake and other revenue-generating activities that these universities were permitted to execute. Now, unlike William Ruto, Mwai Kibaki never abducted or crushed dissent. Okay, during that time, social media was not that much paramount the way it is today, but Kibaki was not so much keen on crushing dissent from young people at that particular time. I remember there is one particular instance when Mwai Kibaki disagreed with the media over claims that he had 2 wives. And what Mwai Kibaki did was to call a press conference. Instead of sending men in unmarked vehicles, instead of Mwai Kibaki sending those people to go abduct and detain those who are claiming that he had 2 wives, he instead gave a press briefing and made it very clear that those who knew him and his family should agree that he had only 1 wife. I think it is important that we play that tape so that we can all be on the same page of remembering how Kibaki would handle dissent and criticism.
That I have only 1 dear wife, Lucy, who's here, and I do not have any other. And anybody who knows me and knows my family and knows how I live, they know I have only 1 wife.
Mwai Kibaki was very popular for improving the living standards of the people, for ensuring that children who are less privileged had access to education. On the other hand, William Ruto is now very popular he is popular due to unpopular fiscal measures that he has instituted in his government since he took over the presidency. Remember, when William Ruto took over, he became very passionate about generating government revenue through unpopular measures. Now, he began overtaxing everything. Everything that he could literally put his hand in, he could actually tax it, including diapers, including sanitary towels, and every other thing that the president could literally get hold on. The president wants to put his hand in everything. He wants to micromanage his cabinet. Unlike Mwai Kibaki, who had people like John Michuki, who would streamline key dockets in the government, William Ruto has no Mr. Fix-It man. Uhuru Kenyatta had Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Now, William Ruto does not have any other person who can fix issues. William Ruto, I think the other day, Peter Salasya referred to his cabinet secretaries as Mikebe, and I completely agreed with that because these are people who cannot fix issues. Now, William Ruto, on the other hand, is fond of crashing down on criticism. Now, he has people like Hassan Joho, who has publicly declared that there is a crackdown on those who criticize the government on social media, be it Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever. Ruto, instead of coming out clearly and having a honest conversation with the people that, okay, you people are posting all these AI-generated images, but now I'd really like if you guys could stop this in exchange for such and such a reform, and so on and so forth. Unlike Mwai Kibaki, William Ruto loves publicity. William Ruto loves the attention of the media. Mse anapenda attention sana. Like, a week cannot pass before we see the president on TV. A week could even pass before Mwai Kibaki could appear on TV, maybe saying something, or, you guys, you understand what I mean. Lakini siku hizi, hii era ya Ruto, every other single day, if you watch TV, it is Ruto, Ruto, and Ruto. Ruto said this, Ruto said that, but Ruto did nothing. He keeps talking too much and not doing anything. Now he talks a lot and does very little. Contrary to Kibaki's time, Kibaki would speak very little and do so much. And he had a very powerful, very resourceful cabinet who would help him to further the government agenda. William Ruto the other day promised to end abductions. Later on, we saw another Gen Z being abducted in South B. He doesn't really mean what he actually says. So I wish that Mwai Kibaki was alive so that he could give a tutorial to President William Ruto on how to run a government. Now, at the end of the day, guys, this is just but my opinion. Do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more informative content such as this. If you're watching for the first time, please go over to YouTube and check out my channel, and I guarantee you will be treated to a ton of content on recent political, policy, and governance issues in Kenya. If you like my content, please do let me know by reaching out to me at personal level through the links, social media links available at the description of my channel. Right, this is all that I had for you today. I am committed to informing, educating, and entertaining in a manner that mainstream media cannot. Let's meet up in the next video.